Morning. I'm trying to set up my stream. Not like P stream, but live chat. My Roku. Let's see. We're going to... Where's my settings? Options. Why would this just not? Network name, setup connection, wireless, looking for wireless networks. Plume, connect, wireless connection, there we go. Boom, now it's connected. Douche. I hate Roku. Roku's trash. Let's do some scans. Anybody get into Oracle yesterday? Boom. Boom shakalaka. I gotta go here. And then I'm live. We're gonna hit the thumbs up button. And inflation data is coming up. I probably have to get up and let the dogs out, by the way. Let the dogs out. Woo, woo, woo. Good. Tell me something good. Devon was upgraded to $58, Brian. It's over 50. Which means, energy as a whole seems to have gotten a boost, which means Cleveland Cliffs is back up at $16.22. If you bought that at 14, you made your nice 10%. Roblox is almost up over 40 again. Let's see. That's kind of what I see, just looking over this. Oracle is gapped up to 116. I think it's trading 122 in pre-market. And I said, listen, it's too stretched yesterday. Your boy didn't get into this, but I've been screaming since 80s. And there were a couple of people in the Facebook group who got in the 80s. So, and boy, I had a lot of comments in the Facebook group last night that I was trying to reply to. But listen, Oracle's on the AI train. So all aboard the AI train. Board the AI train. They said the AI folks will pay $2 billion a year for cloud services. I gotta get the dog's beds. Hold on one second. Let me get the bed. Let me get your bed. Okay? I'll get your bed. Put your bed in here, okay? So that you two stay quiet. I'm not going to start recording yet. Oracle, I don't want to say don't get into Oracle, but it's so stretched. I mean, that's the killer, is it's so stretched. Move to trash. There we go. Remember, 52-week highs are kind of like, do I want to get into a 52-week high stock? And I'm waiting for the CPI data, but while I wait, I mean, here's the chart here. We'll just go over a weekly chart. I mean, do you want to get into Oracle? I mean, it's broken the double top at 107. It had that resistance. This one, to me, I don't know. I mean, don't do that. We're going to move this down. For me in particular, Brian, I got to start out with CPI data. So data. Markets are trending up. Trending down. Any reaction in the market is an overreaction, and it went down. Let's see, what's the inflation number? I'm waiting for it to come up. Morning, Joe. On my screen. Joe, I saw that fish that you guys caught this weekend. Right in line. 0.1, yeah. I'm on a little bit of delay because I'm on a Roku, so I'm streaming. I know DirecTV gets their feed direct. If you're on a cable feed, you might actually get it sooner. Not on the West Coast, though. It depends on what channel you're watching, too. So the Fed will pause. So while I personally, Joe, could not fish myself, I mean, I don't think, fish, any kind of quote unquote living thing, though, doesn't mean that I don't eat salmon, don't eat tuna. I absolutely eat that stuff. But I don't think I could pull it out of the water, watch it choke, and do that stuff. I am thankful that there are people, but God, I know I watched a video of a guy there's a coast over a trail on the East Coast over by Nova Scotia. Here, let me Google this. East Coast Trail Epic Hikes. I think that's what it is. YouTube. I'm going to put this. I think this is this the one that I watched?
Hey there, guys. I'm Eric Hansen. Welcome to a new episode of Tracking Dirt. In this episode,
Eric is a phenomenal host. And Joe, you might like this. I'll put it in here in the chat. If you like hiking and stuff like that, this East Coast Trail is amazing. And I think this is the video where, speaking of fishing, he winds up eating scallops, fresh scallops, like they're trolling for scallops, and he winds up getting scallops out of the ocean, like fresh out of the ocean. It's amazing. Yeah, VRO, I think I said it yesterday, 75% chance that they pause at this point. Yeah, Joe, I still couldn't do it. I couldn't bonk something in the head. I mean, listen, if it were hunting and gathering days, your boy would be completely vegetarian. Beans would be my thing. I could easily eat the same exact thing day after day after day after day and not worry. I am going to take all of this and put this at the bottom. We're going to take that out. We're going to put this down here. Okay. I'll put Fed will pause. Okay, I got to do scans now. I'm just a wimp when it comes to that stuff. And I want to say wimp, but it's more just guilt and empathy. And let me look at AMC. I won't bring it up on, and VRO, I won't bring it up on the podcast usually. Oh, U.S. SEAL Games, high five. I was chatting with a friend last night about SOFI. God, great trade. So here's AMC. Here's the chart. This is the 4-hour algorithm. It loses you 30%, but if you bought and held AMC over 2 years, you lost 91%. So while it loses you money, it greatly outperforms. I am not a fan of AMC, and I think I've gone over this before. I think Adam Aram is a carnival barker. I think he's played people brilliantly, and I think he's held AMC up. Good company with good management, good earnings, and good products will always come back. AMC, decent company. Great management, I think absolutely great management. Good product, nope. Good earnings, nope. So you're only batting 50%. By the way, Joe, Goldman Sachs just upgraded Devon to $58. And ex-dividend tomorrow. I'll bring that up. We're not turning it into a fishing channel. But here, AMC, do I think it's getting to this gap to $12? Nope. Here. AMC. They lost $871 million. Good company. Good earnings. Nope. Good product. Nope. When's the last time you went to movies? So, yeah, VRO, I would, in my mind with AMC, you kind of just take the profits when you can. At $871 million, they have 516 million shares floated. They only have $516 million in cash. They're going to have to raise more cash. And where do you think that comes from? I mean, that probably comes from dilution. So, or bonds. I mean, you got a double bottom here. Again, it's just not a good company. Citigroup said sell, price target $1.60. I mean, the average target price is $2.27 and you're trading at $4.79. Is there any reason, are the movies all of a sudden going to bank billions of dollars? Are more people going out to the movies? No, I don't see that realm growing. So VRO, I don't see it happening. I would get out with any profits or any losses that you can. That double bottom down there at 396, you're probably going back to it. I just can't imagine that if $4 is your support level, I just think at some point in time you get some news and it just breaks through that. Now, Batman is going to be huge in July. So AMC, they may be able to report a good quarter. But I wouldn't say this is something that you hold on to. So there's my take on that one. MVIS. What's MVIS? Oh, Microvision. Yeah. Yeah, this is... Let me see. MVIS. Losing $59 million. Yeah, it's a micro cap. I mean, it's only $1.24 billion. Shares outstanding, 174 million. Average price target is $4. You're trading at $6. Year to date up 161%. Nobody's covered it in this year. Options exercises, December, May. Yeah. I would say that's a pull. So CPI data, completely in line. Markets are free to continue driving higher. Yeah. And I think I saw that one. I just don't. Yeah, there we go. I'll bring that up. That's a good point. It's never good when a stock does a reverse split. When it got down here, I said that was the danger of it. But, God, we lost a shit ton of people after that CPI data came out. Maybe it was me talking about AMC. Let's do some scans. Market scanner. Mullen. Maybe I'll check it. That's 100% a hype play. Ooh, look at that. Apple got a cross up. USC, I'll look at it in a little bit. AMD, UNH. I'll look at it in... Let me do my scans first. This is like... Let me do my... TSM. Taiwan Semiconductor. I said grab that under 100. It's back over at 108. Energy names. Is energy finally going to get some love at some point in time? I mean, at some point in time. Hey, if you're new here, hit that thumbs up button. Just hit the subscribe button. Do your boy a favor. This is TrendSpider. I got my algorithm. I'll show it to you in a little bit. Doing some scans right now to find some stocks. Devon Energy. Bank of America is almost over 30. You're still safe in buying that one. People asked me, should I buy Tesla? We'll go over Tesla in a little bit. Should you buy it? Let me see. Is Disney a cross up? Let's see. Disney on, this is the 4 hour, and it's up here. See that blue line right there? It's hard to see, but there's the blue line, that's the MACD line, and the yellow is the strike line. So it's not crossing up. Maybe on a different time frame. Let's look at a weekly. Because, again, Disney has been just beaten down. I mean, Disney's just kind of floundering. If you want to get into Disney, I don't think that 93 is a horrible price point. I mean, here, $93 was where you traded at March 2020. Parks were closed. There was no Disney Plus. I mean, add on to that. Yeah, but VRO, Trump will be, it's not the last time Trump will be indicted. Let's just say that. And whatever your politics are, I don't care, but I have some personal history growing up in New Jersey with how horribly he treated some people. So I just don't think he's a good person. He's Not a person with ethics. I will say that. Nothing there. Take a look at the alert on Disney. You might have after hours on. I don't have after hours on. Zoom, Netflix, TSM. Yeah, I mean, listen, Trump did a lot of, listen, in my mind, Trump has done a lot of crazy things. I mean, it's almost like, what's that? Two girls in a cup. It's two lies and a truth with Trump. He did some really good things. The genius of Trump, and make no mistake, the guy is just a genius sometimes. He told Tiger Woods and all of those golf people, go and take the money from the Saudis for Live Golf. Go and take the money. They didn't. He was right. He was 100% right on that. I don't know why TrendSpider sent you that one. Robinhood I think they started some 24-hour trading, not all. And essentially what they do is they have their own clearinghouse. And they'll match buyers and sellers within their own quote-unquote universe. So say something like Apple, the official, price here after hours is 183.10. Say it's midnight and the futures are saying, Robinhood's own account is saying, hey, it's 183.14. I don't think that you're going to see a ton of volatility on Apple after hours with such a small amount of trading actually going on. But it's another reason why I think Robinhood could break the market again. They've gotten approval to do it. They can do it. But it's on their own. And I think it's only a few stocks. I don't think it's a lot. So what is PD pager duty? Boy, that's got a cross up. Look at that. Huh. Allegro Microsystems. Breaking news. What the hell's the breaking news? CNBC, man, you overuse that. It's like, remember in the days when you didn't have a scroll about breaking news? Breaking news, it's already past. It's like, God, whatever. Roper, Mr. Roper. I don't like any of those. I am out of ARK holdings. I have been out for a while, by the way. The Dow 30, anything? VRO GUI, enjoy. If you become governor of Texas, I better be your finance minister or whatever kind of, proper role I should play. I just don't like. Former FA official on CNBC. I got a bunch of stuff to go over. By the way, if you're new here, just hit the subscribe button. I'll start the podcast here soon. So the Dow 30, Apple, and Salesforce crossed up. Salesforce is a $220 stock. I don't know that it's necessarily going to shoot much higher. It'll be hard to see this one get back to the 302. That one's going to be tough, but it is just crossing its 200-day. The 50-day just moved to normal, to positive. Visa got a cross up. So four Dow stocks, 4 out of the 30 had cross ups. So let's hope they don't bark. I'm saying goodbye to somebody. Let's see. NASDAQ 100. I am going to cover SOFI on the podcast, US Seal. Reason is one of the guys from MLS that I work with, I told him, get out at 7, take a loss, just be done with it. And he kept telling me, no. I bought in like 8 years ago. I'm going to stay with it, blah, blah, blah. And I said, if you get to 8, whatever profits you get, just take a profit. Just do it at the last, whenever you can, just take a profit. And, the boomer in me was like, SOFI, it's so done, blah, blah, blah. And so I'll go over it. Listen, student loans, getting back paid, it's going to be a good thing for those guys. Netflix, AMD. Do I have AMD? I do have AMD. ANSYS, that one's not beaten down enough. Zscaler, it's covered those gaps. I mean, we talked about it when it came down towards this area. 86. I mean, 1 month ago, this was 86. You're getting a secondary cross up. This is just a good cybersecurity. Broadcom was crazy good. You got another cross up here. We'll put this one in. Applied Materials. Again, all of these are so far stretched from a short-term perspective, not a long-term perspective. Because if even Applied Materials, you go to a weekly, and it's not super stretched. I mean, your highs here are 166. And if you got AI in the chipset, then, you got what Oracle announced, $2 billion a quarter that they think AI people will pay them on their cloud. That's huge. That's huge. Morning, Eric. G Money. Somebody called me G Money from the MLS crew, and I responded, and they're like, "What are you doing, douchebag?" USC, I will definitely go over the charts on SOFI, and look at those for you. Mondelez, not far down enough. Well, maybe it is. Ex-dividend date. Yeah. I gotta see the energy sector for my own shits and giggles. There's 4 things in the energy sector. None of them I know. Chesapeake Energy. Nah. Ramaco. Nah. Bruges. And Dawson Geophysical. I don't know any of them, so I'm not going to, lead anybody in there. But, I mean, Snowflake up 1%. Today's going to be a good day. I mean, the market has approval to run now. The market has absolute approval to run now. You know what? Before we get into this, somebody asked me to look at Mullen. Mullen is, as being somebody in the EV space, it is basically like a PDF sheet. That's essentially what Mullen is. They have a bunch of specs. They have a bunch of stuff. Decent trade, good investment. I don't think so. I mean, this chart kind of just tells it all. I just don't think that it's a good enough company to put your money into. They don't have any products. They don't have any services. They don't have any earnings. And we know that management is sketchy at best. at the worst, criminals. Yeah, there's no way. By the way, anybody read The Gap? Not the where I think it was somebody said they shop for clothing. I think it was Christian yesterday. Gap is where I shop for clothing. No, that's not it. First wave biopharma up 138%. Another biopharma, Millennium, and Mullen Automotive down 5%. Again, at 36 cents, you can kind of make a lot of money when it goes up. If it's got the volume, but don't invest in that one. Sonic Foundry, Tesla's on this list again. SOFI. SOFI's up 5%. Wow. Okay, we're going to close that down. I'm going to close that down. We're at FinViz. I'm going to go to Seeking Alpha. And I'm going Target. So I had a good discussion with somebody about Target yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was. I think it was on the Facebook group. Somebody had bought Target, and I already have 5 figures into Target, and my average purchase price is about $111. Should have sold out at about $300. Morning, Cherry. I did not. My indication on Target is there's no rush to get back into it. It's not like tomorrow you're going to get news and then you're up at 170. In my mind, I'm waiting until the 4-hour algorithm gives me some type of confirmation. It did here at 131. I didn't feel like that was the bottom, so I didn't pull the trigger more. But Target is just one that, it's wrapped up in that whole transgender stuff, and it's probably not. By the way, Roblox over 40 again. It's one that I would be hesitant to. I'm in an IRA, so I absolutely should have sold this one. It was poor capital management. Absolutely poor capital management. I mean, look at this. Once it broke through the 200-day at about 150, should have been out. 100% should have been out. It's got this descending wedge. It's broken that descending wedge. If I take where is the volume slider? Oh God, where is it? Is it way back here? There it is. If we just go to the highs and we say, okay, where's everybody holding today? So if up here at 250, most people since then have gotten out. Most people that have been up here. Most people down here are still in. If we go to when I purchased it, I believe, which was right after the pandemic, I believe it was somewhere in this neighborhood, 2020. If we go there, there's not a whole lot of people holding here. There are a whole lot of people holding here. So in my mind, Target, if you wanted to buy it, it's at 127. It's up about 0.61. If you wanted to buy it for the long term, I think you'll see 146 to 170 again. Do I think you're going to see 215 anytime soon? Probably not. But in my mind, it's a very reasonably priced. The one thing, and I say this again, a company with good products, good earnings, and good management, and a good company. The problem is the management is suspect, and it's not any action that they've done. It's how they've reacted to those actions. The Pride bathing suits and stuff, total fabrication. What did management do? They kind of said, hey, we're going to stop carrying it. In my mind, probably not the best decision. They're saying that theft causes them $1 billion or $2 billion of losses a year. Well, you kind of could have gotten, pretty tough with people and said, listen, you're going to disrupt our merchandise. You're going to do things. We're going to get tough, and we're going to get tough on theft as well. And so then, maybe the management caused more problems. But in my mind, I think you get less fallout at that point. Again, protecting your stores, protecting your employees. They just pulled the line in order to quote unquote protect their employees, which I agree with. You protect your employees, but I don't think that's how you protect your employees. So that's where I come into, again, their forward PE is only 12. You're only paying 12 times earnings on a stock that's going to grow. But you see these downgrades, $130. The average price target is $177. That's where people are holding between 146 and 170. So it's slightly above that target, but I don't, Target's just one of those where if you want a good company that's going to provide you results in the future, I just don't think it's a bad move at all. That's my take on it. I just don't think that it's a bad move. Holy shit. Satsuma Pharmaceutical, buy of $20 million. Ryan Cohen bought $10 million worth of GameStop, which had to send that thing flying. I mean, he's now the CEO. Yeah. I don't have an emotional attachment to it. I just think it's a good store. And again, I go back to if you like it, buy the stock. And I like Target. I do. I've tended to use it less, though. And that's just, just me. Nah. Not my girlfriend. I do love Target clothing, though. They actually put out pretty good lines of clothing. Here's GameStop. I mean, kudos on. Wow, look at that. It dipped down to $20.10. You're at $24.29. That's 20% since the earnings. And you're about to get a cross up here. I would not suggest that you invest in GameStop, but God. Okay, let me see. I'm going to go over my notes. Let's see. Subscribe on Spotify. CPI data, 1%. Fed will pause. Intel was under 30. Oracle, big winner. Tesla. Carnival Cruise Line. We'll go over that one. We'll put Apple. I'll tell you what price point Apple hits $3 trillion in market cap since they're hitting an all-time high. It's not too far away. SOFI. Oh, I wanted to check ONON. On. I don't know how you say it. Yeah. We said it after their earnings. Any reaction on this one was an overreaction. And that buy at 27, you're 30. I mean, it's been, it's covered that gap. You still got that one probably covered to 32. I would say you get back up to 34. Buying at 30, I mean, you'll get back to 34. Good company, good products. I don't think they have earnings yet, though. Let me see. No, they do. It's just, a high PE. But good company, good management, good products, good earnings. I mean, if they continue to show the earnings growth. So, I'm a little worn out. Your boy did 10 miles yesterday, 6 miles of running, 4 miles of walking. And I got up at 5 this morning. And I stayed up to watch the NBA Finals. So, a little bit tired. But not like crazy. I'm going to do the lawn, maybe do some pressure washing today. Pretty big day. And over the next 2 weeks, I got to make my way up to New Jersey. So I got a lot to take care of in the house. But, okay, so Carnival Cruise Line, the FTC is going to block Microsoft purchase of Activision Blizzard. JP Morgan absolutely everybody should be in jail. They paid $290 million to stop the trickle of information. I got a cool graphic for you. Self-made millionaire, how he'd use AI to make thousands of dollars a month with less than $100. Interesting article there. ChatGPT, at the end of last week, SPY performance over last week was 0.5. ChatGPT portfolio had 2%. Big winners, SOFI, Plumber, BHVN. And they're using GPT 4.0. Goldman Sachs upgrades Devon. Highway Jones on Facebook has me looking at Zion and Snow. Celia on Facebook wants me to look at Tesla. Let me see. IHRT. That's one I don't know. Let me look it up before I get to the podcast. iHeartMedia. Yeah, AJ mentioned he was a radio guy. Let me see. And I have friends in the radio business. This is my problem with it. They're losing $438 million. I mean, I just, with Spotify, I mean, I'd rather see in spot. That's what I'll kind of say. I mean, they're losing $847 million, but they have a growth pattern. iHeartMedia doesn't have a growth pattern. Let's see. Rather see you in spot. Kevin from Facebook. We'll put the dollar signs in here for Apple, Tesla, Schwab, Palantir. Boyle, and then we got the scans. Okay, I got a pretty full podcast. Adobe. Ooh, did they announce earnings yet, or is it today? No, it's Thursday. Adobe I went over yesterday, Sherry. I mean, that's just, if you have not seen the AI that's in Photoshop, unbelievable. SMR. I mean, just from Nevin looking at this chart, I mean, look at that descending wedge right there that TrendSpider put in. It's right above the top. So breaking above 827, it's trading at 828. You might have a chance to get back to the 200-day, but all of your long-term, meaning that 200-day, the red line, the blue line is kind of evening out. Let's look at their specialty industry. They're losing $36 million. They're down 20%. Average target price is $13.50, and they're trading at $8.25. Nobody's covered it this year, so I don't trust that price target. They're selling at $7.78. I'd say $8 is your top, just based on the amount of selling at about $8. These guys were selling much bigger lots at $11. So I would say $8 is your absolute top on this one. Yeah, I mean, from a long-term perspective on SMR, do I think it's coming back? Not when they're losing $138 million, or I'm sorry, $37 million. I mean, 19-cent loss, 18-cent loss, 16-cent loss. How much are they going to lose this time? And how much cash do they have on hand before they actually have to dilute? I just don't see it. SOL. This is where I like my QCLN. Is I probably have SOL. Isn't SOL shit out of luck too? Why would you pick that as your You're welcome, Nevin. Nevin, I'll tell you, and here's my guide for everybody. And I'll go over it. One person said, "Hey, these large caps, I'm so overweight on those things. Do you have anything growth that you can kind of put me in?" Listen, if it's working, stick with it. I don't care that your portfolio is made up 50% Apple. If it's working, stick with it. If you like it, stick with it. If you're making money, stick with it. Don't listen to outside forces that say you have to do stuff. In fact, last night I was talking to my parents about rebalancing their portfolio. And they want Fidelity to manage it, and they were going to pay 1.2% fee, 1.22% fee. And I said, you're out of your mind. I said, yeah, we don't know much about bonds, but bonds haven't worked over the past 10 years. Why would you have bonds in your portfolio? You know what's worked? Tech. You know what's working now? AI. Hop on the train. I mean, it's not like I'm taking, $1 million and signing them up for Amazon, Nvidia, everything that's run a ton. But you trickle your way in there, and as long as the AI train is going, that's where you want to add money. So I may not be the greatest at protecting your capital and stuff like that, but all of these crazy things, like I do have exposure to energy. Energy hasn't worked. Do I wish I would have gotten into AI instead of energy? Absolutely. I think energy works at some point in time. So, and meanwhile, like Devon Energy. Devon Energy's got their ex-dividend date coming up. Is it coming up? I don't see it on here, Joe. Let me see. Let me pull up. I'm going to get rid of that. I got to pull up Active Trader Pro. Larry! Crypto Smith, I'll look at Unity in 1 second. But let me pull up Active Trader Pro to see Devon's next dividend. Oh, come on. I don't think FinViz has ex-dividend dates. Oh, here we go. Is Devon Energy still a buy? From Motley Fool. Let's see. If I tell it to add Motley Fool wrote it, I got to get into that. I got to get into that stock, is what he'll say. Yeah, they're saying the dividend has been cut. Yeah, if you're doing it just for dividends, I'm not doing this just for dividends. Yeah, it's increased the stock buyback 50% to $3 billion. Yeah, they're saying buy Chevron or Exxon. I have both. I mean, I like Devon. Anything under 50, I would say Devon is absolute buy. But here's the danger. Let me just sign into Active Trader Pro real quick. The danger on Devon is going back long term. Security code. Let me see. What's the code? Boom, boom, boom. Let's see when Devon's ex-dividend date is. Fidelity will always tell me. The VIX is at 14. FYI, the VIX is at 14. I think it got down to 10. It was crazy. Let's see. Let's go to the videotape, Devin. Dividend X date 6/14. Yep. Joe, you're 100% right. TrendSpider doesn't show it. That's what got me a little whoa. But yeah, it's the ex-dividend date. So here's my take on stuff like Devin. Well, let's look at Unity. Unity. For crypto, Unity's been listen, you can't argue with that June 1st trade of $29. And I think I've covered this one before saying $30 was kind of the, I'm not 100% sure I love Unity. And just remembering, I think it was the earnings. Yeah, they're losing almost $1 billion. But if they start to turn a profit, which is likely at some point in time soon, this goes back to a $50 stock. So your 52-week range is 21.22 to 58.62. So if they start earning money, I think it's a $50 stock. You're trading at 35. Your average target price is 36.40. So you're a bit stretched. Your top right now, you've covered this gap. You have not covered the gap to 4. Well, you did right here. So you covered that gap. The next gap that I see that hasn't been covered is up here on the 4-hour at 78. You ain't getting back to 78 anytime soon. Your RSI is high. You're extended. So crypto, my take on this one, the algorithm has you in, but it's kind of doing that button hook that I always talk about just because it's bought so much. You had this just crazy spike in volume right there on June 6th, which took the price up. This 4-hour candle, it opened at 32.37. Its high was 39.45, up 12% in a 4-hour period. That's just nuts. That's just unheard of. That's wacky shit. So I would say, you got, if you're in this one, I don't know that I'd necessarily get out of it because it does still have confirmation. If we look here, and I'll show you right here, see that 9-day? You still have confirmation over the top of that. So I don't know that I'd necessarily get out. The button hook is happening. This one, again, your high is 39.45. It hit that 40 mark, and it just bounced right off it. And you can see back here in February, when it hit 40, it just tanked down. So I think 40, if you're in this one and you want to hang out till 40, I don't think that's a bad thing. I would probably have my stop at around 34.80, 34.50, just to make sure that I can take my profits if it starts to move down this way. But I think anything under 30 on this one, you buy it. Anything over 30, you sell it. Take your profits. So I think that's probably a good realm there. Let's look at SPY before I get into. I have to take this out. Remove all annotations. Yes, we're going to take that out. No reason to have that. We're in a bull market, but look, you still have confirmation on SPY. Here's the thing. You got energy starting to pick up now. You got financials starting to pick up now. You're broadening the scope of this rally. It's not just AI. So I think this is a good one. Let's look at the Qs still, I think, the Qs have just been outperforming. In fact, let's go here. We're going to go SPY, and we'll do charting. This is the secret sauce. There are 3 websites you have to have: TrendSpider, FinViz, and Seeking Alpha, just for the charts on Seeking Alpha. And we will do select symbols. Oh, they moved it over there. Let's do QQQ. Let's do SPY QDJ. I think it's DJI or DJA. Dow Jones, DIA. We'll do IWM. Why not? Update chart. Here you go. Year to date. I mean, it's just, it's not even a race at this point. So it's an unfair advantage. I mean, QQQ is just up 36%. Year to date, I think I'm only up about 28%. So I'm doubling SPY, which is good. But, yeah, we'll leave that up year to date. Now, 1 year, your QQQ is still up crazy. 3 year, your QQQ is still up crazy. 5 year, your QQQ is still up crazy. Do what works. Just do what works, man. I mean, don't let somebody tell you. I remember my broker told me, get out of GBTC. Take that loss and just get out. I was down $15,000 on it. Wound up making $100,000 on GBTC. Rule number 1, don't listen to a douche on the internet. If I tell you something and you don't agree with it, I'm not offended. I don't say that I'm right. SOFI is a great example. Charlie told me SOFI's going. It's going. Okay, I'm going to start this. I want to pull this up. This is the Chat GPT. There we go. I don't want to do that. Chat GPT portfolio. The GPT portfolio. Then we're going to pull up. I got this cool ass graphic profile and that I posted yesterday. This one. And I'm going to pause it because I want to play it. No, I don't want that. I don't want full screen. I'll just do this. What happens if I do full screen? Let me see. I'm looking at my iPad to see when I go full screen. Does it do anything? No. It actually says click exit to exit view full screen. Okay, we are 7 minutes away from opening. I am going to start the podcast. If you guys are new here, hit the thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed. I'm here every morning. What you see on your screen right now is TrendSpider. I have a 4-hour proprietary algorithm that if you sign up for TrendSpider, I give you access to. It's point and click. A 65-minute algorithm. I have watch lists. I have core portfolios that I put together that you can trade, you can invest in, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of shit for the amount of money. And DSP 25 or the link down below, you'll get 25% off. You need the elite level, which is the middle level. It's about $400 a year. So make sure you have enough trading power and enough dollars in your trading account to justify spending $400. If you don't, there are free tools out there. I will guide you to them. Make sure you sign up for my free newsletter. Also, if you have any questions, join our private Facebook group. All of those links are in the link tree down below. You can find it. If you make money, I don't ask for money. I don't charge you for anything. All I ask is tip me like a bartender. That's it. Say thank you. I'm serving you up beers. I'm throwing them your way, sliding them down the bar. Just tip. People are super generous, and I'm super thankful for it. So, and I love when you guys write to me that you listen or you watch and you read and stuff like that. I mean, it makes it all worthwhile, but your boy doesn't make money here. Federal minimum wage is not even what I make based on the hours that I put in. So, but honestly, I would do this for free. So, it just makes it worthwhile when I can actually make a little bit of money. So, the biggest thing you can do is just subscribe to everything. If you don't have the money, if you do have the money, subscribe to TrendSpider. So let's see. That's about it. Looks like the upgrade to GPT. Yeah, and I'll put, I do want this too. I'm going to put this up there. This is going to be the enticement to sign up for the newsletter to get this link. Self-made millionaire. Here's how I'd use AI to make thousands of dollars a month in passive income. So it's about spending only $100. It's a great article. Actually, and I watched a couple of YouTube videos last night on basically creating graphics in AI and then selling them on Etsy. It's an interesting kind of side hustle, if you will. So let me get going here. I will hit. Good morning. It's 9:26 on, is it hump day? No, it's Tuesday. It is Tuesday, June 13th. I want to start off the show thanking everybody for listening, thanking everybody for liking. Got a pretty long episode today. But I want to make mention too, if you are listening on Spotify, there are tens of thousands of people that listen on Spotify. And I only have like 290 some votes. Go up there. For some reason, I slipped down to 4.8 out of 5 stars. Get me up to 4.9 again. I could use 10, 15, 20 of you. And if you haven't rated me, this is going out to you. Go on Spotify and just hit 5 stars. If you're on Apple, it's a little bit more complicated to rate me. You could go and find out how to rate me. It helps. Apple is by far the second of the listening platforms. Google is further behind that. There are others, but I'm available on pretty much anything where you listen to podcasts. But Spotify specifically, I get a lot of data, and I know there's tens of thousands of you, and not everybody has rated. Listen, gentleman's agreement. I give you guys these stock tips. Just go up there and rate me 5 stars. The other thing, subscribe on YouTube. And I know if you're listening on Spotify, jumping over to YouTube, pain in the ass. Absolute pain in the ass. That's why I have the link tree. So down below, there's a link tree. Just go there, click on it, click subscribe. That's all you do. And the newsletter. The newsletter is going great. I've gotten positive feedback from people. If you have negative feedback, I'm a big boy and I can take it. Give me some suggestions. What do you want to see? The newsletter's for you. I don't do it for me. I literally, if I don't have time, like yesterday, your boy went for 10 miles yesterday. I did 6 miles of running, 4 miles of walking, and the 4 miles of walking was an average pace of 12 minutes per mile. So, there was a little bit of running in there too. So, I didn't have a lot of time yesterday. Today, I got to do the lawn, got to do some pressure washing. Pretty big day in my household. So, the newsletter, if you got anything, join our private Facebook group, whatever. I was on 8:30 live on YouTube, all over CPI data. I was ready for this shit to just start cranking down. Oh my God, we're at 5% inflation. Nah, we're at 4% year over year, 0.1% month over month. That's 100% expected. Markets took it well. It's basically a continuation. It's approval. Think of when you got a nice job or a gold star on your paper from your teacher. That's what the inflation data just did for the markets. It said, yeah, you're allowed to move up. Fed will pause. The decision comes tomorrow. they'll pause and they'll make mention that, hey, we're going to pause. We still have some issues in the banking sector. Not a ton, you know. Excuse me 1 second. I need a drink, but I am going to show you DPST up at 63.83. Let's look at Schwab. This is the banking sector. These are the two that I recommend. Schwab for long term, you're at 53.96. Hopefully you got in at that 48. There is a gap here between 49 and 50. Long term, I do not think you are disappointed. That 50-day is moving positive. You're starting to move positive again. Your boy here, I own Bank of America under 30. It's at 29.06. You can still get in there. The algorithm has you at 28. Other financials that I own, Wells Fargo. I do not have this in the core portfolio, but I do own this one. And Wells Fargo under 40, you're at 41.68. Still time to get in. I think it's easily a $45 stock in a decent market. And the other one that I own is Morgan Stanley. I own a small portion of Morgan Stanley. It's less than $10,000. But I do own Morgan Stanley. I think I was buying at this 200-day, which was, I think, around 95, 98, somewhere in that neighborhood when I was actually buying. So I'm up in the 90s. I haven't bought down here in the 80s. I just don't like it that much to start adding to it. But we still have some issues. So the Fed will pause. They make a hike again in July. You won't see a decrease until minimum later this year. And if you see a decrease, hang on, because that means something's broken. It just means something's broken. Today, you're going to see most everything that we have in our core portfolio is up. Merck is down. Coke is down. Bank of America is slightly down. Apple's down just because it hit an all-time high. Uber's down slightly. UNH is down slightly at 491. But the majority of these stocks in our core portfolio are up. Energy, doing well. It's doing a catch-up. Intel was a big winner yesterday. That kind of drove the Dow. Intel was under $30. I told you to get it under $30. This was just 2 weeks ago. Even here, on June 6th, 7 days ago, it dipped under 30. I told you it was under 30. If you had gotten it under 30, you're at $33 now. So there's your 10%. This one, it remains Intel. The swing trade is $30. Do not think that you're buying this at 33 and going up to 40. You could, but in my world, I think it's just still a $30 stock. I just think it's getting some hype right now. And the chip, let's be honest, the chip sector is getting some hype. I mean, Nvidia is at 401. Did you get it under 400? You'll have another chance at under 400, but it's putting in this capitulation right here between 370 and 400. Trade it. Over 400, sell it. Under 400, buy it. Like I said, the chip sector is getting that. AMD, and we'll talk about some of these, have cross-ups. But AMD is up 1.2% at 131. Did you get this one under 100? Did you get this at 80 back here in March? Did you get it under 90 in May? You're doing well. You're doing well. You do have this gap down here between 108 and 114. It's going to take a catalyst to pull it back down there. It's going to take one hell of a negative catalyst to pull this one back down there. So invest in your chips. I own AMD. I own NVIDIA, SOXL, SOXL is your triple chip sector bull. And this one has just been on a crazy run, $14.46. You've almost doubled your money in the algorithm. Absolutely crazy what this algorithm has done with these triple levered ETFs. So Intel was the big winner yesterday. I figured I'd cover chips a little bit. Oracle, this was the other big winner yesterday. I said it was too extended to buy it. I think at 106, 107 when I was covering it earlier in the morning. I just said it's run too much. Well, it's at 122. I mean, it is way up there. Earnings, better than expected. Cloud, while it's still a small cloud player, it's growing faster than every other cloud competitor. CTO Larry Ellison said Oracle would introduce generative artificial intelligence cloud service. There you go. Pump. cloud service tied to a partnership with startup Cohere, which will use Oracle's cloud infrastructure. The estimation from Oracle is that AI folks will pay $2 billion a year for their cloud services. That's huge. So Oracle's the big winner. Again, any reactions and overreaction, you're gapping up from about 115, 116 to about 122. We'll see where that gap winds up at the end of the day. But here's the thing. When I told you it was extended, look at the weekly chart. Did you expect this one to break above this kind of double top at 107? I didn't think so. I thought it was going to put in the double top. I thought the earnings were going to be okay, but I thought it would sign up. Well, it's at all-time highs here. It's just continued to grow. And so since this October 2022 low down here at 67, you've doubled your money. Since that October low, you've doubled your money. I've basically been pounding the table here since 83. If you bought this in February 83 and you just held on and you said, I'm going to hold on here, and you're doing really well. So again, even if you bought up here, as long as you hold these things, good companies with good earnings, with good management, with good products, you're going to make your money back. And this is a great example of that one. Another example of that one, Tesla, 12th straight day of gains, and you're probably going on day number 13, lucky 13, according to Taylor Swift, for all my Swifties out there. Tesla up at 254, it's up 2%. It's just the gift that keeps on giving. There are gaps all above this one. And if we go to a daily, let's move daily here. And we pull this one back, you'll see that it is covering that one gap that I told you I thought it would cover right here between 258 and 260. When it was down here at 240, I didn't think it could cover that gap. It's going to cover that gap. Absolutely going to cover that gap. Still hasn't covered this gap down at 146. It's going to take a hell of a catalyst to move it down there. Their margins are shrinking. The stock is doing really well. I do think that you probably get to this top up here at 310. Just understand, it is expensive from a PE perspective, and every negative person bear on this market will tell you the PE is crazy. I don't want to go to screener. I think I clicked on something. But Tesla, the PE is 73. Its forward PE is 51. They make $11 billion. Their market cap is $780 billion. Their average target price is $184, and you're trading at $250. The most recent April, Jefferies downgraded them from $230, buy to hold from $230 to $185. So you're kind of well above that. It is a hype trade. I would probably not buy in thinking that you're going to 300. In fact, let me scroll down because it was, let me see, Celia on Facebook. I want to buy Tesla long term. When should I get in? And this is the tough question to answer because historically, and think about it, historically, the best time to get into Tesla was always today, because you always regretted tomorrow if you didn't get into Tesla yesterday. That's 100% how this stock is traded. Look at this weekly. The only time when you were like banging your head against the wall, why'd I invest in Tesla, was COVID and then last year. And that's it. 2 times. So what makes me think that it's going back up here to 400? Just history. I mean, again, good companies with good products, with good management and good earnings, they make it. The problem that you have is that they've ramped up production so much. Can they keep up demand to match that production? They're going to be building a new facility in Mexico. They announced it. They bought the land. They started clearing the land. We know from history, they ramped up Shanghai in less than a year. They ramped up Berlin in about 14 months. They ramped up Texas in about a year. Mexico, with all the corruption down there, should be no problem. This should be China all over again. You're going to get a gigafactory that will most likely, and this is the rumor, most likely the Mexico plant will be churning out a low-cost electric vehicle, sub $25,000. So if that plant does that, then you've got the Model Y, which is the best-selling vehicle in the world today. You've got the Model 3, which is, I think, one of the top sedans. You've got the Model S and X, which are luxury vehicles. And you've got the upcoming Cybertruck. So you've got a ton in there. Do I think that you could get into this? I do think that you could get into this. I think, back here, it was funny because I think it was somewhere back here around 2021. My mother got upset and she didn't know how to buy stocks and she was super frustrated and wanted to just get into Tesla. And she bought up here equivalent to about $300 a share. And I said, what are you doing? You put in a market order. You're crazy. You just put in, and it was no bones. It was a big buy, Immediately, she went down to about $200 a share, just below $200 a share. Lost 30%. I told her, I said, you got to buy it. It's a good company. Buy it again, buy more. She's like, I got too much money into this. I can't afford it, blah, blah, blah. Well, she was rewarded up here. She's been going down ever since. She's up again. So it must have been back here, back in this realm or something, in 2020 when she bought it. But, yeah, I mean, the 200-day still positive. The 50-day on this weekly, moving positive. The 9 and the 21 just bounced off the 200-day. The 200-day, so you know, is about 186. That would be where I would be more comfortable. I've been pounding the pavement that under $200, you should be buying this. But again, for long term, the problem that you're going to see with this is the margins are shrinking. And the market doesn't like margins shrinking on growth stocks. So they want margins to expand on growth stocks. That's where you're going to kind of have a problem. Let's talk about cruise lines. Yesterday, Carnival Cruise Line was the number 1 or 2 options play. Carnival Cruise Lines. It's been getting huge interest in the options. And that's why you're seeing this move from $9 all the way up to $14. If we go from a long-term perspective, I do not think that Carnival is a good investment. It is a good trade. Good companies with good products, they have both. With good management, they have great management. With good earnings, that's where they fall short. They're losing $4.8 billion. $4,895 million. So that's $4.8 billion. But they're up 82% this year. So their average target price $11. They're trading at $14. I think this is options driven. June upgrade from Morgan Stanley or JP Morgan to $16. June, Bank of America, they upped it to $20. If you think this could get to 20, which from a long-term perspective, I don't think it's crazy. Your 200 still's moving negative. Your 50 day is starting to flatten out. Your 9 and your 21 are positive. So it's just a choice of, do you go on Carnival Cruise Lines? I don't. The one that I actually like, Norwegian, I haven't been on any of these. Full disclosure, the only cruise that I've taken was Virgin Cruise, and I loved it. I would invest in Virgin Cruises. I absolutely loved their staff, loved their model. It is a higher priced, so it's a little bit, and they're limited in their ships. So Norwegian and Carnival, I think those two, and Royal Caribbean, again, stocks, these ships are packed. They're just packed. So it's been going nuts. Apple. I talked about Apple hitting a new all-time high yesterday. It's currently trading down 183. It's trading down just 0.05. I mean, it's marginal. You got gaps all the way down on here. Here's the interesting thing. It's at 183. 10 more dollars. 193.70 to be precise. That's when Apple gets to $3 trillion. The first $3 trillion company. Do I think it could hit it? Absolutely. They're buying back enough stock. They've got enough interest. They actually asked Sony to produce more of their headset vision screens. Sony said no. So they're expecting pretty high demand on that one, which is shocking to me. But again, your boy owns Apple. I think it's 60, 40, 50% of my portfolio at this point. Just keeps going up. This is one of those where, if you ask me when you should buy it, just continue to add to it. Every time there's a dividend, I get a couple $1,000s for a dividend payment. I throw it and it just reinvests in the dividends. And you can see the last time, it bought in the 170s. So I'm adding to it. Just do it. So my boy Charlie from the MLS, my boomer self, Charlie is half my age. So my boomer self told Charlie, when it gets to 7, this is SOFI, by the way, SOFI. It's a bank, it's fintech, it's student loan payments. It is pretty kind of high flyer as far as volatility goes. When it was up here in the 5s, I told Charlie, I said, when it gets to 7, you sell a little bit. Even though that's a loss, you sell a little bit. I said, when it gets to 8, you unload your entire share. Well, it's trading at 924 now, 926. So your boomer boy here, completely wrong about this. This is getting a boost because student loan payments will proceed in September, I believe. That's where these guys have the vast majority of their revenue is student loan repayments. So as this one goes up to 10, do I think it gets to 20 back up here? I don't know. I've been so wrong about this one. I thought it was just hype play when they had a $2.5 million FDIC backing because they'll expand it through partnerships. It's up 108% year to date. The average target price is $7.50. It is trading at $9.30. They're losing $284 million. The forward PE is 572. This is just a crazy, crazy valuation on this stock. But if student loan payments proceed and these guys are able to expand their bank just like they were able to do when student loans were being repaid, that may not be a bad thing. So SOFI, I don't think you buy in here unless you absolutely 100% understand this bank and what their product is. I don't. So it's just kind of rolling the dice on that one. But it's got all the confirmation in the world. So I don't want to say don't trade it because, God, next thing I know, it's up at 14 and somebody's telling me, hey, douchebag, it's at $14. Why'd you tell me not to buy it? Well, if you want to buy it, go ahead and buy it. I just think it's extended. From all of the indicators that I see, it's extended. I'd be taking profits if you're in there because remember, if you take profits, you can always buy back in when it goes down. Onan or On, I don't know which one, On Holding. These guys are shoes. I said it after their earnings last time when it came down here to 26 or 27. Any reaction in the market with good companies is an overreaction. These guys don't have earnings yet, but they're a good company with good management and great products. People love these shoes. They love this the fabrics on their clothing. So this one at $27, you're at $30. You got your 10%. That's coming off a 39% gain here from March until May. So On is one that I may put on a list as far as, hey, this is one you want to watch because could it go to 40? It's crazy valuation, but that's what they said about Tesla. Mara. Wanted to bring this up because the algorithm has you out here with a 2% loss. You can see this trading range between $8 and $10. At $9.71, do I think you buy in? When the algorithm tells me to buy in, I think you buy in. In my mind, I think this is a $11, $12 stock at times of pump. And you can see here, $11.82. I think at times of pump, it goes up there. You got the 200-day moving positive. Trade the trend. If the 200-day is coming up there, then it's got to come out of this capitulation at some point. What scares me is this downward wedge. So if you're going to trade Mara, make sure you have your stop. I'd put your stop loss in at about $8.50 if you're buying it at $9.72. Take a loss, buy back in. you can always buy back in. Watershed moment, whatever they call it. You can always buy back in. The FTC is going to block the Microsoft purchase of Activision Blizzard. It's a rounding error. Activision Blizzard is trading at $80. Remember when the EU back here said, no. You maybe should have bought it at 75. Yeah. It's at $80. Remember the purchase price is up here at, I think it's $95 is the purchase price. So it hasn't even gotten up to that range. You're covering this gap. You're just covering this first gap you're going to cover here up to about 83. So if you want, buy back in. I think it's worth it. They're all, Activision Blizzard and Microsoft, they're acting like nothing's happening. So I will bring up JP Morgan because these guys knew exactly what was going on with Jeffrey Epstein. They paid $290 million to settle the Epstein lawsuit with the Virgin Islands yesterday. It's only because there's embarrassing shit coming out on emails that everybody at JP Morgan knew exactly what Jeffrey Epstein was up to. And because they wanted his money, they ignored it. Staley was completely complicit in that relationship. The guy was only at JP Morgan for 2 years, but it's shown in emails. He's alerted everybody to what Epstein was doing. So listen, do what you want with that one. Ethically, I ain't in this one. I found this cool graphic and I'll show you. It's on my Twitter page. It's amazing. This is the stocks fueling the rally so far this year. And basically this is just year to date. Here you go. 2.6, 2.7. Look at Tesla. Look at Nvidia. Look at Meta. Look at Netflix. Look at Apple. Look at Amazon. Look at Google, and look at Microsoft. These are the stocks that are fueling the mega cap rally. There are 8 stocks. If you are in these, you are well over 50% gain this year. It is crazy. But if you're out of these, you're not even in the game. The train is running. So is it too late to buy into Meta? Nah, it's a $300 stock. It's at 270 something. Is it too late to buy into Nvidia? Nah, it just got over 400. Buy it under 400. Is it too late to get into Tesla? Nah, it's at 250. It's probably a $300 stock at some point. Amazon, you're at 128. What do you need? What do you need? Amazon to dip under 100 again? Come on. Netflix, it's a little bit extended, but it's a $500 stock. Apple, it's at all-time highs at 180. By the end of the year, at some point, it'll be $200. Google, you're at 120. Let's see. Google is at 125. It's a $130 stock. Get in. You might as well. Let's see. Microsoft, Microsoft at 330, you're fine. Anything under 300 on Microsoft, you're doing really well. So that is the cool graphic. I will include all of these links to all of this stuff will be in the newsletter. So sign up for the newsletter. In fact, I am going to show you this real quick. This is a self-made millionaire, shows how he'd use AI to make thousands of dollars a month with less than $100. I will put that link in the newsletter. Sign up for the newsletter and you too can be an AI millionaire. ChatGPT portfolio. Cool update. ChatGPT performance last week, they were up 2%. And here's their update. Let me see. Here it is, June 9th. They were up 2%. The S&P up 0.5, so they're beating the S&P. The big winners, SOFI, we talked about it. PLMR, I don't even know what PLMR is, and BHVN. Those were the big winners. So it does look like ChatGPT 4, which is what they switched to. They switched to ChatGPT 4 last week, is off to a good start. So they're doing really well. Let's talk about energy. Goldman Sachs upgraded Devon Energy. It is one of my favorites. And if you go over to FinViz, they basically upgraded the price target to $58. Here's the other thing. Devon Energy, if you got in today, it's trading right now at $51.14. If you got in today is the ex-dividend date. So what do you get? 9.13% yield. That is what they're paying. You cut that in 4 because it's a quarterly dividend, and that's what you'll get tomorrow. About 2%. You want 2% guaranteed? Buy Devon Energy. Devon Energy today. I said buy Devon Energy under 50. Goldman Sachs has their price target at 58. The average price target is 62 on this one. Now, if you scroll down here, read that Motley Fool article. Is Devon Energy stock a buy? They say no. They say no. But I argue yes. I think this one and PXD are both energy buys. I think both of them are energy buys. I think Oxy just has not performed the way Warren Buffett thinks it would have. I think he thinks it's $70, $80 stock. The price of oil has just been manipulated down. So, read up on Devon Energy. You can see these guys bought a whole bunch here at 49, 50, 53. If you think that these guys want to lose money, the president and CEO buying, $6 million, $7, $8 million of this. If you think this dude wants to lose money, you're out of your mind. He's going to manage this to at least a $53 price target. So he's managing it right now to a $50 price target, but he's collecting that dividend while he does it. So, Highway Jones wrote to me on Facebook. What are your thoughts on Zion Bank and Snowflake? Let's look at Zion. Zion's one of these that it's a regional bank. I think you're gambling. I think you're kind of nuts on this one. Do I think you've got a gap up here between 37 and 39, and you got about the same size gap between 20 and 21. Where are you going next? I don't know. I mean, either way, right now your 200 day is pointing down, so likelihood you're probably heading down there. Your 50 days moving up, so you could move up here. This is just a gamble. I've told you before, DPST is your gamble because that includes all of these banks, regional and small banks. It includes all of them. DPST, if you want to gamble in these regional banks. Right now, there's still banking sector issues. So don't think that this one's coming back up here to 50 anytime soon. If we get through some stuff, it could be back up here at 50. But right now, there's still issues. So I just, in my mind, DPST. If you want long-term, I think you go with Schwab. But Zion, probably for me, a little bit too risky. But I just don't know enough about Zion and the regional banks that, hey, Zion's a great one. If I see that it's going down and then it gets an influx of cash and we all of a sudden start seeing this surge of volatility in the regional banks again, I'll say Zion may be a trade. But right now, I think DPST and Schwab are your best bets to try and play that volatility. Snowflake, I've said it before, anything under 150, I think you buy it. It's at 170 right now. Do we get back down to 150? I think at some point you do. I just think that this one is one that it's super expensive. That's the problem that you have with Snowflake. Snowflake and Palantir are kind of the same thing, but Snowflake, its forward PE is 182. These guys need to grow. Their target price is 182. Ironically, their forward PE is 182. Their target price is 182. It's trading at 172. So I don't know that there's a lot of upside here. Long term, a lot of upside. Short term, I don't know if there's a lot of upside. I think I'm holding at about 160 as my average price. I've got it in an IRA. Kind of tend to forget it sometimes. I chose the wrong one because Palantir has been the winner. In fact, Palantir, I think it's up over 16 now. I think there's some folks in here that have been doing really well on Palantir. It's at 1563. It's down a little bit today. Just kind of still has confirmation. You got this gap at 13. You're probably coming back to it. I don't see you coming back down to 7 or 8. They've got too much good news out there. And you can see, look at that volume. Volume drives price. And it's right now coming down. So the RSI is at 70. I wouldn't buy in at 15 unless you're super, super long term. At some point in time, this is a $20 stock. When they announced that they're actually making earnings and the CEO said maybe sometime later this year they might, that may be where you get into earnings. Celia, I went over your Tesla stuff. I do think that, Tesla, I'm not buying into Tesla, but I have missed out on many a run in Tesla, just so you know. AJ wrote to me on Facebook. I'm curious about your thoughts on IHRT. This one's been tanking pretty consistently for about 2 years now, but has started to show life over the past couple of weeks, including a 50% gain June 1st through June 7th. For a stock that's been down for so long, what signs do we look for to feel confident about jumping in and giving it a shot, specifically for a short-term swing? I will tell you, iHeartMedia, I don't like the stock, the company. I just think terrestrial radio, which is what iHeartMedia is. They're broadcasting. They're losing $483 million. I don't know what launched it. Is it the festival? Is it? My guess is there's some short interest. I mean, it says short interest, 8.64 million shares are shorted out of 1.48 million. So what's that? 4%, 5%? Not huge. I don't know what spurred this. It's up 5% today. So I don't know what spurred this. But I can tell you from a long-term trend, that 200-day moving negative, which just created, the 50 days moving negative, the 9-day, and the only thing that's moving is the 21-day, and the 9-day is moving positive. But they're losing $1.50. I mean, does that spur on that? It's some type of volume here, and I don't know why. Obviously, between July of 2020 and here, I think it spurred on some things. But I think you're getting realistic here. Broadcasting to me is dead. For typical short-term stuff, I look at the charts. I don't look at fundamentals. For me in that one, you're absolutely 100% trading it. I would probably go with a short-term candlestick pattern, something like 5 minutes, or even a 30-minute. Maybe even the 65-minute algorithm. Let's run the 65-minute algorithm on IHRT. It loses you over 8 months, 55%, whereas buying and holding loses you 58%. Over the long term, it probably makes you a great amount of money. Let's see. Number of candles to use. We'll slide this up to 7,000, which is a deep one. I think it's 5 years. It's going to take an analysis of a pretty long amount of time. 4 years. It loses you 75% versus losing 80%. It doesn't. I mean, I just don't see this as something that I would even want to touch. I mean, here's the thing. I do think that you being in radio, AJ, probably has a good benefit for you. In that, I think you I think you understand this one, but I would question what that swing was about. That's my only thing. I just don't know what that swing is about. Are they turning a profit? Probably not. But you can see it's come back down here, and that MACD is about to cross over again. So with the MACD crossing over at about $3.60, $3.80, I think you could probably pump it up probably to about $4.31. But I just don't know. In my mind, if you wanted something broadcast-wise or podcast-wise, that might be a little bit better on the growth aspect. It's still losing money. Mind you, Spotify is not making money. They pay me more than I'm probably worth. But Spotify has just been a winner, absolute winner. And if we look at this long term, I think you're just coming back. You're not even halfway. You're not even to your 200-day, which is 181. So, but it is expensive. Look at iHeart. Their forward PE is 4. Spotify, on the other hand, its forward PE, they don't even have a PE, but they're losing $847 million, and you're up 90%. The reason you're up is just because of their growth. They're growing. iHeartMedia is not. So in my mind, I think that's probably your best bet. If you wanted radio, I think you trade Spotify instead of trading iHeart. But if you're looking for a swing, I typically use MACD RSI, and the moving averages. And I try and have a very short term candlestick, like a 5-minute or something. So Kevin wrote to me on Facebook, from the show, I've slowly added a lot of nice performing stocks. However, most of them I could call blue chip, well-established behemoths of the market: Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, Schwab, Oracle. By the way, earnings jump, I should tip my bartender. Kevin, high five. Tip your bartender. But I was also looking to add some more stocks that are younger in growth cycle, newer companies with higher potential for growth. Right now, the only stock that I own that even fits that profile would be Palantir. Well, kudos to you on Palantir, because I think you've done really well. The other thing is, don't be so concerned about moving to other things. I think too many times in my trading career, I have been told, you have to do this, you have to do that. And common sense would tell you to do this. A very good example is people telling me that I don't have bonds. I don't have a 60-40 portfolio. I've always been, even in bond funds, when my 401k was split up 60-40, completely underperformed my main portfolio that I just had stocks in. So I in my mind, again, I don't think that it's more about, hey, I've got to get into these other things. I think it's more about what makes you sleep at night. And if you can stand like a Snowflake, like a Palantir, like a SOFI, if you can stand that volatility, I think finding those growth companies is fairly simple. You can use the screener in FinViz, and I think they have a growth pattern. I won't do it on here, but I would say take a look at this. Go over to the finviz.com, go to all on the screener, and I think you can look at growth. I think there's a growth thing, gross margin, country. There should be some type of thing. You can look at PEs, which are typically high, to try and find some companies. You can also just, use any type of screener on Fidelity or something like that. I think your beta, let's say 1.2 to, let's say, we're going to do 1.1 to 2. Let's do over 4. Beta is risky. So you can see Mara's there, Riot is there. This is a lot of crypto stuff. So you can use that one. I think there's a lot of places where you can look. But I will tell you right now, you saw that graphic. What's driving the market? 8 stocks. 8 stocks are driving this market. Don't be so concerned about, hey, I've got to get on the growth train. Hey, I've got to get on, find out what's working. In my mind, I've got a good mix of oil. I mean, here are sectors. If you're subscribed to TrendSpider, I've got all these sectors, the spider sectors, and you can look at their performance. XLP, look at the consumer staples. It's down. Consumer staples is down. Look at energy. It's down. Look at financials. It's down. Look at XL. This is the healthcare. It's down. I mean, look at that slide down there. Look at industrials. Those are kind of coming back. I mean, it's not a huge swing here, but, look at technology, XLK. I mean, again, if what you're looking to do is maybe find a little bit more of growth, maybe look these sectors and what makes them up. Go to FinViz and you can use that screener. You can also probably just go over here to the S&P. You can Google growth on the S&P. You'll find growth stocks on the S&P. You'll find the stocks that are willing to grow. But I commend you. In my mind, Apple, Tesla, Microsoft, Schwab, Oracle. Shit, if 100% of your portfolio is in that this year, you're up, 80% this year? If you had bought all those in January. And timing matters. So let's look. Matthew from Facebook wants me to look at, I have to go to Facebook. Hold on one second. Because I think I auto-corrected. NXU I know is one. But let's see. This is the private Facebook group, and let's look at it. I posted a fun dog picture of Miss Penny that my friend took today. So looking at the CPI data, you'll see it come up. There's my little girl. But let me see what. Seconds.AIQ. Matthew asked me NXU and AIQ. Let's look at AIQ first. I did type it right, AIQ. I was like, what the hell is AIQ? Global X Artificial Intelligence. It's an ETF. Let's look at, am I going to argue that it's not a great ETF? Here, volume drives price. Look at that volume chart right there. And look at that MACD. And you're having a secondary cross up right now, which means even more bull. Your RSI is at 77. Do I think you should buy in? In my mind, I don't think the AI train is off the rails yet. At $27, I think you got a $30 ETF on your hands. Let's see if they have any information on FinViz. FinViz doesn't usually do a great job of telling me what's included. The Wall Street Journal, July 3rd, how to invest in AI through ETFs. That probably gives you a bunch of them. But yeah, let me see. AIQ, ETF holdings. We're going to do that. That's a good way to look at this. And this is global ETF. It's a global ETF. So this is their kind of stuff, price performance, documents, key information, ETF pricings, top 10 holdings. Here you go. NVIDIA, Meta, Tesla, Microsoft, Salesforce, Oracle, Adobe, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet. Come on. You're telling me that this is, yeah, you're good. Any price you pay for this with those holdings, you'll be fine. You'll be absolutely fine with this one. AIQ, no doubt in my mind, you'll be fine. I may actually add that one to the core portfolio. I'll make a good note of that one. But great job in finding that one. Now, NXU. What is NXU? I got to look at it. This is Industrials Electric Equipment. They're losing $63 million. Their target price is $2. They're trading at 61 cents. They're down 80%. You have no insider buys. There's no real information. There's nobody covering it. So that $2 price target, I probably would take with a grain of salt. I don't think anything about this one. Honestly, there's this gap up here at $1.20 to $1.70. Do I think you're coming back to it? Nope. Because look at the volume spikes. This is a hype trade. So I think you absolutely use this one as a hype. I know nothing about the company. FinViz has nothing about it. But I think this is just a penny stock that probably gets some hype. The dangerous part about it, do not expect it to all of a sudden spike up for any other reason other than hype. That 200-day is your indication it is a falling knife. So, Matthew, great one on AIQ. Kind of the Wall Street bets kind of crowd on NXU. Boyle is going into a reverse split. It's a reverse split 20-for-1 on June 23rd. So do not think that you can get into this one and all of a sudden that reverse split is going to send it higher. Probably will send it lower because retail traders will say, oh my God, it's awesome. I'm selling at $60, not realize they're losing their shirts. But it's 20-for-1. So it's going to be around $40. And this is how a triple levered ETF based on natural gas continues to be listed. So Boyle, it had crossed up here at 267. You're trading right at 268. You're up 5% today. It's just been floundering. I think it's putting in some capitulation here. It's done this before between $3.10 and $3.70. Trade it on a small time frame. That's all I'll say. Scans. First one, I'm going to move this back to core investments. First one, Apple. Apple hit a 52-week high. It also had a MACD cross up. It is high, I will tell you. When's the best time to buy it? Today, because yesterday, it was the best day yesterday. I just think, it's a $200 stock by the end of the year. I've been saying that when it was here at 150. I've been saying that when it was here at 120. I think it's a $200 stock by the end of the year. Apple has a cross up. It's a little bit stretched out right now. CRM, Salesforce, they announced their earnings. They did good. Nothing really came of it. 218 is the price. You're trading at 209 right now. I think anything under 200, you're fine. I think it's a $220 stock in a good market. But CRM had a cross up. Next one that had a cross up is AMD. AMD, we went over this one. I don't know that I'd necessarily buy it, but if you don't own it, when's the best time to buy it? Today, because you consistently regret not buying it from yesterday. UNH, United Healthcare, I say buy it under 500. It has not gone over 500. So in my mind, I'm holding it 485. It just has not performed whatsoever. If there are more cost cuts to come from Medicare and Medicaid or some type of Inflation Reduction Act, this one's going to get killed. Taiwan Semiconductor had a cross up. This is a secondary cross up at $84. Absolute brilliant trade. You've made a ton of money. Your ex-dividend date is coming up on June 15th. So hold it before then. I think it's a decent dividend of like 1 or 2%. It's 2.09%. So it's not a bad dividend. If you want 2%, divide by 4, you can get that one. It's not a horrible dividend. But they had a cross up here. It's a secondary cross up. It's just on that crazy bull run. One that had a cross up, which is a little bit, are we getting to a short here? 37.36 SARK. You're trading at 36.50. The RSI is down at 29. This is the inverse of ARKK. SARK. UVIXI had a cross up, and this is crazy. I mean, the VIX right now is at 14.64. This has a reverse split coming, 1 for 10 on June 23rd. It had a cross up here at 228. Do I think you get into this one? No. I mean, the VIX just has not shot up. Now, if the Fed decides tomorrow not to pause, you're going to be wanting to buy UVIXI. That's going to cause the markets to actually go absolutely haywire if they decide to raise rates again. Applied Materials, AMAT. This is a secondary cross-up. A lot of these are secondary cross-ups. This one's been on a run since 111 back in April with the algorithm. Zoom Video. I just don't think this one's worth it. They're a video conferencing place. That's all they do. But it's covering this gap up to 71. If you want to trade it from 68 to 71, have at it. It's using that 200-day as slight resistance. That's why it's been having problems covering this gap. But since it's earnings and they dropped down to about 61.56, it would have been a good trade. Would have gotten 10% in it. But Zoom Video is one. Another one that has a secondary cross-up. And this has had so many cross-ups on this run. 322 was the buy-in here May 5th. I said get it under 300. Never went under 300 again. But it's at 428 right now. The RSI is super high at 72. The MACD is just up there crazy. But remember, unprecedented growth in the U.S., which had stalled in a market where nobody else from streamers is growing. So that's why you're seeing this one go up. I think it's a $500 stock, $529. Go ahead and buy it if you want it. Visa is one, cross up 226. I like this one closer to $200, to be honest. It's not far enough under the 200-day. This is just a stock that you kind of buy and hold in your portfolio. There's nothing crazy about it until they come out with some type of crypto hype. Again, Visa's just kind of flounder there. I think it's a good company. I think you're fine with that one. And finally, Broadcom. Broadcom was a big winner yesterday. It's a secondary cross up here. You got this gap down here between 733 and 743. You ain't getting back down there. Your ex-dividend date is coming up on July 21st or June 21st. Your RSI is super high at 70. Your MACD is just crossing up again. I mean, these guys print money. $10.32 per share, $10.33 per share. Let's see, their dividend is pretty good too. I think it's 3 or 5%, 2.15. So it's not as much as I thought. But their average target price is $8.55 and you're trading at $8.46. I think you can get it lower. I think your 52-week high is $9.21. So it's a little bit stretched. I would kind of wait. Do I think it's going back to that $9.21? Probably. But do you really want to buy it here when it's so stretched? The PE is 26, forward PE is 18. So I think you'd be fine long term. Short term, I think you might be able to get it, but closer to about 800. There's my thoughts. If you are paying more than $25 a month for your cell phone, go to Visible. The link's down below. If you like the algorithm that I showed you throughout this, sign up for TrendSpider. You save 25% with DSP25. Sign up for the newsletter. Hit that. If you made it this far, there is no reason not to go on Spotify and hit 5 stars. Get me up to 4.9. Come on. Do your boy a favor. Yeah, the link tree's down below. If you have any questions, hit me up. Any of the socials. I will talk to you tomorrow. See you guys. 54 minutes. I told you I had a lot to talk about. You're welcome, Cecilia. Let me export this real quick. Boy, I'm hot in here again. Man, I gotta get a fan for this office. What file is this? IHRT. What's IHRT? Oh, I put a note. Move to trash. I put a note for some reason on my okay. Okay. I want to be out of here by 11. So I'm going to move you over to Active Trader Pro, which I have to find. And where is Active Trader Pro? Oh, come on. Is it because I don't have it highlighted up here? Window capture. There we go. That's the properties. Safari. Some bitch. Hold on. Why is this? Oh, do I have to cancel properties? There it is. Ape Love Ape. Sherry's going to love that one. Fubo. Campbell's soup is good. Brian, I think I agree with Christian. Let me see. Let me go back to Safari real quick. I mean, you had this earnings. Let's do a long term. This is where I like to look at COVID. Campbell's Soup kind of was a COVID winner here because you don't see that huge. You see the price drop here March 23rd. It goes down to $40.70. That was COVID when we weren't shopping. They couldn't produce soups. They couldn't do whatever. It immediately went up to about 53 here in May. And it sat there and then it dipped down. in my mind, that 200-day at 48, I think I'd move your $50 range down to about 48 if you could do that one. When we look at folks that were trading up here at 56, there's nobody really buying it here. Let me pull it back to where it was at the lows. I would say at 46, I'd probably add a little bit more. It doesn't have confirmation right now. And I would probably, I mean, you're so far down. That's the problem is because of these earnings, that MACD's kind of turning up a little bit. Your RSI's at 26, but I do think I would probably buy a little bit more here at 46. Not much. I would buy a little bit more here at 46. If it goes to 44, I'd probably take the loss. Because that's what? Just under 20%. I'd probably take the loss. That would be me. I'm not always great at taking losses, but that particular one, that would be what I would do. Holy shit, it's still bouncing. Let me go to Safari. I gotta move this out of the way. Okay, we're on Active Trader Pro. I will go over. Daniel Inskeep. I watch him. I like him. You should subscribe to him too. Oh, we have My First Millions recording with the Reddit blackout. 6:13. That is the upload. Let's go to Canva. And we'll do a create new episode, browse. Let me see. This is done, so we're going to quit. And I'm going to save it. And then we're going to do 6:13 upload. We'll do a transition. Oh, come on. I know I'm banging the hell out of this mic, but oh, come on. Why is this moving like this one? Oh, I can hear it. Why am I I like in the back room for this one. Because we're going to title this one CPI data. Okay, insert ad. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm actually losing money today. Son of a bitch. I'm losing money. We're going to do save episode. Then I'm going to go down here. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, Mr. Putty's outside. I got to go check on him. Episodes. We're going to plop that in there. There we go. And then we're going to put in some notes. I'm going to put in the notes from here, and I think it's probably going to be way too much. I think I'm going to pass my limit. No, surprising. Didn't pass the limit. Okay. Did I include? Please. Okay. What am I going to call it? Six, 13. Okay. Publish now. There we go. I don't think Campbell Soup. Listen, I think Campbell Soup. They had a problem. I mean, I don't remember reading anything in particular, but I remember they had a problem with some fulfillment or something, some production. I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was a problem. Okay, we're going to put this as 613. And we will share, download. Okay. Huh. Let me look at that one. I just hate doing anything off the AI train for my personal portfolio. Let's see. We're going to put this in. Okay, let's see. We're going to hit that one. Let me go look at that one, Christian. And Joe, I'll look at that. Jesus, man. Takes forever for this damn thing to paste into YouTube. There we go. Free newsletter. Oh, my Weeble link. Why don't I have this one up there? I should be promoting Weeble more. What do you know? Jesus. I'm up 14% in Weeble for year to date. Menu, my rewards. Let's see. Menu. Get up to $3,000. No. How does this work? Where the hell? see. Why can't I find this? Start inviting. And no. Messages. I'm going to say Gary. And I'm going to do that. And copy. Okay, and we're going to upload thumbnail. No, it's not made for kids. Next. Public. Oh, I gotta put it in the playlist too. No, I don't want that. I want playlists and daily stock recordings. And no. Videos. We're gonna edit YouTube. Accept, allow. Okay. And then we're going to go back to this. And we're going to say, okay. Look at Devin, man. Devin's shooting up. Edit title. Add videos. Accept. 613. We'll add that one there. Boom. And we're going to save that. And videos are done. Checking. So that's done. Let's go to our newsletter. Shit, I'm going to do the newsletter inside. Oh, I got to go get a banana. It's 10:45. Oh, let's go back. Let me bring you back to Safari. And let me see. Campbell's stock, Campbell's soup. you look back September 2021, let's see. Let me go to a weekly. I assume you might be looking at a daily. I see September 2021. I see that drop. You know, it's interesting because I think 47 would be this gap back here, but the difference between those that I would see, though, Christian, is the MACD was never this low at minus 1.8. And the RSI has just not been below 30 for quite a while. It looks like it might be a good turnaround. Let me look at EVA, Joe. EVA. Ooh, that's an ugly chart. That's a real ugly chart. That gap between 10 and 21. Now look at Finviz. EVA. They're losing $244 million. Their target price is $19.25. They just got a downgrade. Truist just did the last downgrade. The only time this year, Truist downgraded them with a $10 price target. But you're right. You guys are buying a good amount. Baumgartner bought what, 300, and 400, so $1 million worth. Which, listen, as a CEO of this size company, it probably isn't on that bad. All I'm thinking is, God, there's a lot of money to be made in these markets, but I think it's still AI. And look, Target's bouncing. Target's getting the button hook. I mean, I talked about that Campbell's at 1.85 minus on the MACD. Target's at minus 5. I mean, it's just never been this oversold. Yeah, Campbell, to me, Campbell's soup isn't super exciting. I like it, but I don't love it. I'm down, by the way, I'm negative today, I think, last time I looked. Let's see. And Fidelity's fucking with their app again. Yeah, I'm down $4,000. When the markets are all up. It's Apple. I think it's Apple. Let me see. How much is Apple down? 0.49. Let me see all positions. Let's look at... I'm losing about, what, $6,000, $7,000 in Apple. So that's where I'm losing it. It's just not enough position size in the other stuff to justify today's stuff. Harold, I'm going to post in the private Facebook group. There we go. Okay, ARDX. Let's go to notes, and then we're going to do Wednesday. Or Sam from Facebook. PXD is a big winner today, 2%. Shopify is coming down a little bit. Okay, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go inside and probably eat a little bit and do the newsletter. So watch for your email boxes. I'll include some links, including that one there's a good story, Self-Made Millionaire. Here's how I use AI to make thousands of dollars a month with less than $100. It's a good article. Okay. See you guys. Have fun. Enjoy. I'll see you tomorrow.